next week. I don't have a good lawyer to plead my case. And I'm worried, don't know which way to turn. The Christian said again, where is your faith? You've got to learn how to trust him. Tell me where is your faith? In God. They kept on talking. The Christian wanted to find something that would encourage the man. The man said, and now I've been sick so long, I've lost my job. The Christian said, let's talk about it. The man said, well, since I've been out of work and been sick, all my bills are past due. The Christian said, I know what you're talking about. Where is your faith? Stretch out on your faith. Tell me where is your faith? Where is your faith in God? Somebody listening to me know exactly what the man was going through. They kept on talking. The man said, and just laying around with the wrong crowd and getting out of the church, I picked up a bad habit. Christian said, well, tell me about it. He said, I think I'm hooked, and it doesn't seem like I can break free. The man said, don't you know God specializes? Where is your faith? Oh, bless God. Tell me where is your faith in God? They kept on talking. Christian was determined to give that boy some faith and some courage. He said, well, my doctor bills have been so high from my sickness and my court case that I've run out of money. I don't draw no Social Security. I'm not on welfare. And I'm down to my last dime. The Christians say that's when God wants to step in for you. Where is your faith? Oh, bless God. Tell me where is your faith in God, Lord God? Where is your faith in God? Now, before I leave, maybe you're sick. Maybe you're going to court. Maybe your money's run out. Maybe you even have a habit and you prayed about it and it just does not seem like things are going to break for you. But I'd like to leave this with you just like the Christian told that man. Try your faith. Thank you, Jesus. Where is your faith in God?
There's a leak in and my soul has got to move. I've got another building. A building. Yes, I do. Yeah. Before this time, another year, I may be dead and gone, but before I go, I want to let you know I'll be living in my brand new home. This old building keeps on sinking, y'all, and my soul has got to move. My soul has got to move. My soul, yeah. This old building keeps on sinking, y'all, and my soul has got to move. I've got another building. A building I made. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. When I can read my title clear to mansions in the sky, I'll bid farewell to all of my friends. God said he would wipe my weeping eyes. Oh, this old building keeps on sinking, and my soul has got to move. My soul has got to move. My soul, yeah. This old building keeps on sinking, and my soul has got to move. I've got another building. A building, yeah. You know what? I'm moving. I'm moving home. Moving home. I'm moving home. I'm moving, yeah. Moving home. Moving. I'm moving home. I'm moving home. I'm moving home. When you hear me sing my song, I'm moving home. I'm just moving a little closer to home. I'm moving home. When you see me praising the Lord, y'all, I'm just moving closer to my heavenly home. Hey, move. I'm moving home. Yeah. Move. I'm moving home. Oh, moving home. Moving home. I'm moving home. Oh, I've got another building. A building I made.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, management, or advertiser, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Mother Georgia, she's back on live, the historic 980 WDDO. All of a sudden, let's go live into the studio with our host, Brenda Sutton.
Hello. Hey. What's up?
Good evening.
Well, what's going on, Mr. Cardigan?
See, they've started.
Why
already.
they coming for you today?
Started already.
I think you look nice.
Thank you. I'll pay you later. As soon as I walked in today, they started on me.
No checks this time.
No.
Well, you know what though? The Qs would like you though.
No, I'd rather it be the AKAs or the Deltas. I'm not that guy.
Well, I'm just sure they love your purple sweater and everything. It really,
Yeah. Well, I get that.
About
just
that.
wanted to make clarity in this present state of life that we live in. With the commercials I see and all those kinds of things, I just want to make sure that they understand that my boy do till the end, friend.
Oh, well.
All right, Pop, we got you.
Yeah.
I don't know why Pop be trying to go off and then he be slick when he
Well,
go
you
off.
did kind of come for him with the purple. I mean, he looks nice today. He not, he got a little baseball. He got the dad fit on, that we call Jim call a dad fit. You got the hat and
they've had too much free time.
And the cardigan with the little, he got the dad fit.
Oh yeah, he got it going on. And then
he's a baseball dad today.
He can't be a baseball dad because he's wearing like cowboy boots.
So, does he have a cowboy boots today?
Yeah, he's got his cowboy boots on. They're like gray, and then they've got like a little piece of like snake skin that just kind of rolls up the middle or whatever.
Oh
I don't know why we're discussing your outfit, but you know what? You look nice.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. And I don't know why he keep tearing up stuff. Every time he come, he got to mess with the lights on.
Well,
the computer. I don't understand.
I don't know why, but it's because like the light is doing something over here, but
it's not doing anything.
But when I look at the way the light reflects off of Emily's complexion, it does wonders for Emily's complexion, and I just wonder why I can't get the light to do the same for me.
Yeah.
Well, could it be your
It's
skin?
the baseball cap. It's the baseball cap.
It's the skin. It's the skin.
Yeah.
He got these, how when men get old, some of them get old, Emily, they get these little dog spots on the eyes.
Well,
liver spots.
Well, I've seen some old people, and I'm not one of them. Now,
yes,
I'm older with the ER, and this is what I like to tell all of our listening people out there: always maintain the ER. Sure, you're not as young as you used to be. You're just simply older. As long as you can still move about and do things and all that, don't ever call or consider yourself old.
What is considered old? Well, like what age is considered old?
When people start standing up going, I stood up and I thought somebody else was in the room. My bones was cracking so loud. I think that's kind of moving into that plane.
Okay. Because I remember when my mom turned 40, I thought she was old. I thought literally she was ancient.
Think their parents are old
I thought
from
she
the
was
beginning.
ancient.
Well, I always wondered, I wonder what it's going to be like when I'm 60.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what
when are you going to be 60, Brenda?
I'm going to be 65 on my birthday.
You don't look a day over 64.
I'm going to knock you out. You just a story. You just a story.
Well, on that note, Brenda's complexion is always nice and light bright.
See?
Light bright. What are you going to see tonight?
But the light didn't speak it. Something about the light of your complexion gave the light words.
Oh, wow.
Well, you know what,
okay,
though?
I'll take it.
Y'all are just really digging deep today. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but
it's a good day. We're alive. We're breathing. We're happy. It's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful Monday.
Yeah,
it really is. And the new car owner over there, I'm not saying.
Yeah. What? No, I'm sorry. She doesn't have a new car.
That's right.
She has a new automobile.
Oh, that's true.
It's an automobile.
And it looks so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What kind of automobile did you get?
It is a 2022 Blazer.
It's not a 2021 or 2020. It is a 2022 Blazer.
Black.
Oh my.
Black on black on black.
When I pulled up, I was like,
yeah, it's shiny too.
Yeah.
Well, it needs to be
ain't got
washed.
no tag on it. It just got, you know what I'm saying? It just got the little piece of cardboard stuff on the back. That's why I knew it was bad. I knew it was new then. I said, boy, it ain't even got no tag on it.
It has a new car smell.
I ain't kidding.
You know what? True confession, I hate a new car smell. I do everything I can to get that smell out of my car. I hate it.
What?
You'll be wishing for that new car smell.
I know, it's 10 more years.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out.
A shout out.
I want to give a shout out, and I'm going to start out with
to Henry
E. Williams.
Of course.
Yes.
Henry E. Williams sponsors our show. Thank you, Big Hen.
We love you.
Hen, we watched some great football during these playoffs.
Man,
this has been one of the greater. I mean, every game has come down to the last play. Every game.
Well, okay, confession. I just found out yesterday that the Super Bowl was next Sunday.
I don't even know who's playing.
I know.
Who?
The Bengals,
Okay.
Cincinnati Bengals, and
No, the Bengals are like a pop group. These are the Bengals.
Bengals. Okay, I thought
Yeah.
that's what I thought. It's
Why
the
did-
Bengals.
When did it just really goes to show what Henry said. I don't know anything about
Yes,
football, but it did start
like
with
the
a B.
cat, like the cat,
But
the Bengal
it's not Bengals.
tiger.
Next Sunday is
It's-
the 13th. This coming Sunday is going to be the 5th or the 6th.
Yeah.
Next Sunday is the 13th.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not this Sunday.
It's
Right.
the
I said
following
next Sunday.
And so
Well, the next Sunday is the 5th.
right, and that's when no.
No, that's this Sunday. Today is Monday.
And the next Sunday
is the 5th.
is the 5th.
So I don't look at it like that. I was meaning the 13th for next
and
Sunday.
you know, but I don't really know, but
The whole point is who's playing is the question.
Cincinnati, I just say it like that. What if I say Cincinnati?
Well, what
I got it
what
right.
Is it the
was-
Cowboys?
I got thrown because
Oh.
the
What
light
Cowboys?
reflects so well with your complexion. and I got kind of thrown with that. I'm sorry.
And then
You know what?
and
Let me
then-
cut these lights off because these lights are clearly distracting
Well, and the
everyone
Rams,
today.
And the Rams.
The
I got,
Rams.
Oh,
I
is
got
it?
that right.
And guess what?
What?
The Los Angeles Rams are going to be playing the Super Bowl in their own stadium.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Now
wow.
that is such a
That's gonna be
disadvantage to
insane.
Cincinnati. Oh,
Yeah.
it's gonna be wild.
That's crazy.
But then it might not be because some say that since they are at home,
Mhm.
they have more distractions
They probably do because
You know what I mean?
Could be, yeah.
because
Yeah.
they
That
got
makes sense.
because their kids got access, their grandmama and them, all the cousins, and everybody that lives near them they're accessible
Yeah,
because they're
yeah,
home.
yeah.
The Bengals are kind of like in no man's land, so they have nothing to gather with but themselves.
And it's been so long since they've been there. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
It's
Oh,
been
yeah.
a long time. I want to give another shout out
Mhm.
to our DA. You know,
we should.
Anita Howard. Let me just tell you something. I called her on a Friday afternoon with a problem. And
Mhm.
everybody can't do, when I say call her, I text her. Everybody may not have that access, but I did text her. And it was
wealthy people have access to the DA.
stop. That she would do that. She's just good people. And I text her about a victim that was having some issues and needed some support to keep this person from getting off parole.
Mhm.
And it was like a Friday afternoon. It was like about, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 or something like that. Do you know she took care of it? She took care of that woman and had one of her staff.
You wanted to get somebody to help somebody to get off parole or
To keep them on parole.
keep them on parole.
Right. Because
That's what I thought you
right,
said.
keep them on parole because
Mhm.
this lady was a victim.
Okay.
And people, because he was probably of the other persuasion, they can get off parole.
He was green.
Also,
Yeah, he
let
was-
me understand this. He was up for parole. He wasn't released. He was up for
He was
parole,
up parole.
and she wanted to make sure that he stayed in
Stay-
because she
and-
was
and-
okay.
Yeah, see, that's what I was at
Right,
with it.
yeah.
That's
We had to
and
clarify.
then it reached out to our DA for assistance because they want him to stay in jail, which is where he needed to be because he's a bad boy.
Mhm.
And she made things happen.
Mm.
And so a lot of times, we give people a lot of flack when they do bad stuff. And then I do, I really do.
I agree. We tend to, yeah.
But when they do something good, we don't say too much.
Mm. Mm.
So I was just like, she is a hardworking something.
Mm-hmm.
And made sure that and actually it was my neighbor, but made sure that this lady got the type of support that she needed.
That's awesome.
That's good.
And today, that from the last I heard from her, I asked whether or not he got parole. The answer was no. He's, they're still, they have a decision. They have not made a decision, but I do know it was because of her help and being able to connect her to the right people.
Mm.
To write the letters that she needed to get the type of support that she needed to keep him on parole. He don't need to come back to Macon. He want to come back to Macon so he can tie up something and continue to steal and carry on because he was, like I say, he's a bad boy.
Understood.
So I'm giving a shout out.
She's been doing great work before she got into that position. And then she certainly picked up the pace since she's gotten in. She's a great comfort to our community because of her service. So I certainly appreciate Anita Reynolds Howard. I do.
And I tell you what else, if you're a bad person out there, you don't want to know. You don't want to know her.
Well, she's here to protect and serve.
Weren't they kind of coming for her in the beginning?
Yeah, they came for her, and that's why I wanted to make sure that we had the conversation of that she's doing a good job.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only that, she does a lot of community service. She reaches out. She does some things that DAs normally don't do, and she's out there pounding. You used to see her any place because she pounds that pavement. She's out there, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give her a shout out because, it's a good thing to be able to reach out to someone who, because a lot of people in office, which goes into our segue today, they in office, but they not really in office for us.
Yeah, and a lot of them are in office for their
climb,
future.
their political climb.
Yeah, for their climb, absolutely. And you mentioned pounding the pavement. That's what I am a proponent of for any elected official. And I am going to be a pain in anybody's side who is an elected official and you're not involved in the community that you were specifically elected to serve in. If you are an official in whatever district it is, you need to be about your district. I live in South Macon, what they call South Macon.
Now, I'm not from Macon. Tell me that. Give me a street
It is
name.
right outside of downtown. It is right off 2nd Street, runs through downtown and up to Eisenhower.
Okay. That area.
And so I'm in between Eisenhower and downtown Macon.
Okay.
It's where I am. And
isn't it a church over there? Big church. I think I know the area that you talk about.
I can't think of the name of the Cotton Brothers Church, but the mosque is over there in that area. Macedonia is over in that area. What's the Cotton Brothers name?
Turner Tabernacle is over
Turner
there.
Tabernacle is on 3rd Street.
I think is it Fellowship or Friendship that's right across?
Friendship is
Friendship
in that
is down
area.
there too. Friendship Baptist Church.
I've done a couple. I can't think of the name of this church, but it's a really, really big church right there at the corner. I have an idea where you're talking about. I'm trying to learn Macon better.
The Cotton Brothers.
I can't think of it.
Jeez, but at any rate, and it's right around the corner from my house. That church that you speak of, I think.
Okay.
But I don't want business as usual anymore. So, and I've been I'm guilty of recognizing what's happening in actuality. Because I know, like at one point before this last election came about, I was physically going around from that area that I speak of, knocking on folks' doors, not running for office, just trying to find out if my thinking was right or wrong about the future of the neighborhood, because I really feel like in Macon, if there's an expansion of downtown, I really don't see too many areas they can move towards, because certainly they can't move too much toward Mercer anymore, their campus. That's and then you can't, in my mind estimation, East Macon, Coliseum, and that Fort Hill area, that's historic district. And then and certainly then Pleasant Hill is an historic district. So the closest thing to downtown that's not considered a historic district is from downtown up to Eisenhower. And so in that area is where I live. And so I wanted to get from the people that live in that area, like, what do you guys think? Do you think property taxes going to go up over here? Maybe because of that reasoning, or is your property, what's going on with you and in your home? I try my best to go to people who I know. My family bought the home that I live in 1975, right? So I pretty much, even if I don't know the people personally, I've ridden up and down the street enough to see them getting out of the car or getting in the car or raking their yard or something. So I pretty much know who the homeowners are. And I tried to speak with them and talk with them and good people in that area. And after the election, some of those same folks, I asked them, you know, have we seen our commissioner?
Oh.
Do we even know, do you know who our commissioner is? Has the commissioner been in the area? Not to the gym for the photo op. Because I think that's the way of old hat business here. You know, they do all the photo ops. They do all the pictures with the school kid. I mean, I had mayoral candidate come by. I'm involved with a lot of community service. And that was, and I won't throw the brother guy up under the bus, but there was a candidate that I look up and they tell me, yeah, candidate such and such is coming over here and helping out with the food drive today. And in my ignorant mind, I'm thinking that's cool. That's what it's all about. I'm thinking they're going to come over, roll their sleeves up, help us put boxes in the car and all that stuff for 2 hours or something.
Okay.
They get there. They ask us, the ones who are putting the boxes in the car, to let the candidate come up and do some service work. And we're like, cool. Then I look over, see the cameras rolling. I see the candidate put about 3 or 4 boxes in 3 cars. And then
and that's it.
That's a wrap.
What not?
Just to get enough pictures.
Just to get enough pictures.
Yeah.
And so for that, that's what I'm saying. It's not something that one individual does. That's just been the way things have been done. And I feel like I have to, when I see wrong and I don't say anything, I'm contributing to it.
Well, I have to agree with you. I think a lot of times, and you know, we have not been a political show.
No,
you know
and I'm not being political now.
I was going to say, you know, Emily, we've not done it. We've strayed away from politics. That's not what we do. But we're simply giving opinions at this point. When people run for office, we need to hold them accountable for what it is they say that they're going to try to do.
And let me interject, please. What I have an issue, I've lived on the east side of Macon since I moved to Macon, which is 16 years I've been here. And I didn't know anything about the east side of Macon. It was just the side I chose to move on. What I have a problem with is that absolutely nothing has been done to that side of town since I've lived there.
Do your consonants. You did them.
And the person that has been in office over there the entire time, or that has been over that particular district or area, has been in that position, from what I've been told, over 20, 30 years. So my question to you all is, do you think that at a certain point the old heads need to move and let the young heads kind of take over?
Hold on. Now, let's just put this call-in number in. It's 478-250-1444. We want to hear from you. Do you think, and you know what, that's a valid question.
Because at some point, like if nothing's being done and we're just voting on these people based off of their name recognition, and I live there, so I can tell you nothing has been done to the east side of Macon. We can't get any legitimate businesses over there. It's just nothing but fried chicken on that side of town. Now, I can't say that that's a bad side of town. Like I said, I've lived there for 16 years. I felt safe the whole time I was there. I don't really know why that side of town has such a bad rap. But I live very, very close to the Jones County line, so almost really in Jones County. But I don't understand why that side of town has such a bad reputation. It's pretty quiet. There's nothing over there. But I want to know why they won't bring anything good to that side of town.
One thing about it, let me just say this about your commissioner, and I'll call her name, because Miss Lucas.
Correct, Elaine Lucas.
Miss Lucas is something about taking care of her employees now. When it comes down to looking out for the people who work and making bills, you can always count on Miss Lucas for that.
She's a fighter. She's been fighting for him a long time.
She'll fight. Now, I do know, I'm going to say this about the East Side and attracting businesses. This is what a lot of people don't understand. People have to get insurance to take and put a business over in a particular area.
Right, we do.
Well, it's difficult to get insurance on the East Side.
Why is that?
Because the folk keep cutting up over there, shooting and killing and stealing. Now, if you think, yes, sir, buddy, and I'm going to tell you, and I hope she don't get mad at me. I know Salad Queen over there, Salad to Go.
Yeah.
Had a business over there, right over on Old Clinton Road. They used to break in and steal all the time.
Everything. Yeah. I thought that was a bit, ridiculous.
And she was over there in the hood, trying to elevate, trying to teach people how to eat and how to have. And she had a good business.
It was,
but she couldn't keep the business.
Yeah.
Because just simply because. Folk over there stealing. And so then you say, well, why can't we get anything over there? Well, because folk, first of all, they can't even get insurance. And if they do, I don't know how much it would cost. And it's not everybody. I'm just saying on the business level, is it something that, would you want to have? Would I want to open up a shop over there? I have to think twice now. Emory Highway is very, very, very busy. So it's where is the traffic. It would support a really nice restaurant, but then too, people.
But they're trying to do something with Millerfield Road.
Yeah, for years,
and then a lot of it is a lot of us. And I just say us. I'm just, me.
Well, it could be confusing when you say us.
Right. Mulattoes, are you meaning the mulattoes or let's be specific?
But don't support Black businesses the way that we should. Okay, so you've got to depend on other people to come to your business. And when you shoot and carry on and cut the food and things like that, people are not, other races are not going to come over there to shop with you. Now, Emily, you have a business. You have an integrated group of people who support your business. Is that correct? So I'm just saying, so would some of your customers come over to the East Side? I don't know.
I don't think, I think some of them would. Keep in mind, I started on the East Side. When I first went into business for myself, I was on the East Side. My issue was that a lot of my clientele complained that they didn't want to come over there because it was too far. Okay. And that there was nothing else on that side of town. And I've had several customers say, I don't ever have a reason to be on the East Side because there's nothing over there. So that was really essentially when I decided to upgrade, if you will, and open my first shop on Vineville. That was why I chose Vineville Avenue, because I figured it was more of a central location. People come up and down Vineville, so on and so forth. So that has been an issue. I could say since I've lived over there, a lot of people don't like coming over there, and it could be because I haven't lived here that long. Maybe I don't know the long history behind the East Side, or the violence, the shooting, the whatever. All I know is they can pop up a chicken joint that. I'm not exaggerating. There's 11 chicken places between Sherling, Gray Highway, and Spring Street.
Well,
that's what a mile. There's 11 chicken places.
They make me sick, and I'm just saying I'm sick of everything on the north side. Anytime you know what I'm saying, you got to go north to get anything. Now I don't live north. I don't know where I live at.
That's considered West Macon, right?
I live West Macon. I think I live.
That's considered West. I think
it's West Macon.
Yeah.
And we don't have everything out there. We just got a Publix. We just got a grocery.
But that's great.
Right.
A Publix is great.
What did you say earlier? Well,
yeah.
Word you used?
I mean,
Yeah.
hey,
We just got a Publix, not a Piggly Wiggly.
yeah,
We just got a Publix.
yeah.
Well, you know what?
Publix.
My point though is
Publix.
Well, a loaf of bread is $4
with an X. Publix.
You know what? You so low down.
I'm just saying.
I want to meet my commissioner. I haven't met him, but you can rest assured I'm gonna meet him.
Well, I'm certainly
because you were, and I'm like, call a spade, call a spade a spade.
Mm-hmm.
When we, say a certain commissioner or whatever like that. What's your commissioner?
No,
because we invite
what I want to do is like, this is why I'm concerned, because there was a concrete plan in place. Like, this wasn't like, it was there. It was like, I got it on paper.
Okay.
Everything is here. I'm reaching out to my commissioner. I'm trying to help my neighborhood.
Your commissioner being
Paul Bronson.
Okay.
And Lord knows I'm for him. I know his family. I want him to succeed. But what I do not want, I don't care if his name is Ronald McDonald. What I do not want is to have my commissioner be more concentrated on being mayor or senator or the president of the United States rather than right now being the commissioner of the people who elected him and being common with these people. Right now, I want my commissioner, whomever it would have been, it just happens to be Paul Bronson. But whomever it was, I need you to be involved in the community. Yeah. Don't tell me that you're meeting over here and meeting over there, making plans for the community. I need you to be visible in the community. I need you to come by. I need that if you got out of your car in the community of the people that elected you, they know who you were without a name badge or a sign. That's what I need out of my commissioner.
Well, ain't nobody ever came by my house or came down my street or nothing.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why. That's why I think the city has remained stagnant the way it has, because the people have not demanded of these people that you're not just going to be elected, put on your little white shirt and your tie every day, and go in and have all these meetings.
I'm going to give a shout out. Now, one who does in this community all the time, you see him out there, is Al Tim.
I know that. I'm talking about my commissioner today.
But now I'm just going to call a spade a spade. Al Tim would be out there all the time in his community.
Unity in the community.
And he'll be out there. And I know for a fact, because I went to one of his events, he had it right there on the corner. Is that Mumford Road up in there?
Yeah.
Right down the street from
what area is he over?
He's in Bellevue. And he brought all kind of people in Bellevue. He had the judges over there. He had Judge Colvin over there.
That's right.
He had Judge Sims. I mean, he brought all of these people that were right there that would have never, ever been. I bet it was the first time they'd been in Bellevue. And he brought them over there, and he had like a big cookout kind of thing. And it was really, really nice. And, there was some folk on the corner.
But that's what it's supposed to be. That's what, and we have allowed it for decades to deteriorate into something totally different than what I read that it was intended to be, which is to serve your.
Bellevue is over. I don't know. I'm not real good with directions.
Napier Avenue out that way, Napier Avenue, Log Cabin, all of that area.
Okay, I got you.
And really, that used to be a place where Black folk, they had businesses and stuff over there. Remember I told you I was talking about Perry Hill Barbecue?
Oh, sure.
It was right down the street from Perry Hill Barbecue and stuff. And, it was just a nice, it was a nice area. Folk own their homes and stuff like that. But I just believe, and I'm like you, that we've got to do a better job.
The citizens got to start speaking up. We've got to start speaking up. And let me just say this for the record. I don't care whether you're 90 150. I don't care if you're 25. I don't care about that age group. I care about what are you doing for the neighborhood that you represent, because some of them get stuck on that being elected to that position gives them credence to put their name in a different hat. And I want you to be about service right now. I don't want you to be about preparing yourself for the next step up. I think we need to redefine what preparing yourself for the next step up is.
I do want to say what Emily said. In this town, and I said it, Emily, Brenda Williams said it. We do not do a good job of preparing new leaders. And the old folk won't get out the way.
They won't move out.
They won't move. They'll stay right there. They didn't have about 4 strokes. Can't hard, really ineffective. And
it keeps them stuck, coming from my perspective. I feel like when I look at even how technology has changed, when you have older people, and I that's why I started off the conversation, what's considered old. But when you have somebody that's been holding the same position for 25, 30 years and nothing is being done and everything, like you said, is being stagnant, something in the community should say, you know what, how about we get somebody a little bit younger in there? Because young people, they may be sporadic, they may be all over the place, but they have fresh ideas. They have a new perspective.
I get you, and
they have so how come we can't? And the question is why won't they move out of the way after you've done 30 years? Let somebody else try.
We like power.
So here again, my thing again is, I don't care how old they are. My thing is, the community needs to make it be boisterous about redefining why we elected you. And that's on the citizens more than it is on the elected official. If the citizens don't rear their head and say, listen, we're tired of things being done the way it's been done. We're tired of the old hat. We don't care if you're 15 or 20 or 100. We want things done differently. Because what I tend to find, and I'm not against the youth, but what I tend to find is like they're wanting modern things, right? But what I'm saying is, the reason why I think Macon is failing as a community is that we keep building new things, but we're letting our foundation crumble. And that's just what Biden's keep talking about, the infrastructure. Like Obama kept telling them about the infrastructure. Now look, bridges are falling all over this country now. And I'm saying, I want to redefine what the responsibility of our elected officials are, and I think it begins with the citizens.
Let me just say
not
this.
Who's elected.
But let me just tell you this about that.
That's a
part.
good point.
That's a good point. The other piece of it is this: we've got all these boards. Now, I don't normally talk about it, but I would just say I'm over dissertation with my doctoral degree. I have my master's. I have my bachelor's. I'm an undergraduate. I run a program. I've got all kinds of certificates and things like that. Ask me what kind of board I've been selected to be on. None. People don't ask me to be on the board, but they ask the same old.
Right.
I don't have I'm like, okay, so my last name was Sutton. My daddy had a barber shop for 27 years on Poplar Street. When you keep putting the same people on these boards, okay, you keep getting the same thing.
So
now part of the problem is that it's just not the commissioners. It's just people just go get their friends.
I agree,
but it's nepotism at its best, and it's nepotism. And another one of the things is that okay, I'm in this position. Oh, here's 5 applications. 4 of them are way overqualified for this job, and I know they can do it. But this next applicant went to the same school I went to. This next applicant is in the same fraternity I am. So it's a great practice of that in this city too. A lot of positions are being filled by frat brothers, sorority sisters, kinfolk. So it's way deeper than just one little thing.
And I'm just saying to you that when you bring on fresh, you know what I'm saying, Emily? Fresh ideas, fresh people in putting them in positions, then you get a different outcome. Our show is fresh. You know what I'm saying? I won't say I want nobody because I feel like I'm somebody. All of us are somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, we're not the norm.
No, I'm just a regular Johnny. And
And
I'm mad because I want better for my community, not just for me. Because if things get better in my community, things will be better for me. Because if you got a community full of disgruntled people, it makes it bad for me.
Well, what do you think? Name one thing do you think as a starting point? What do you think the one thing is that would make things better? Just a starting point.
Like on today, what's today? Monday?
Mm-hmm.
For our garbage to get dumped, to get picked up. Another thing is the roads and the streets over there.
Yeah.
Another thing is the blight over there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it goes on and on. Another thing is the lack of lighting in the neighborhood. So many of the lights on the telegram poles are out. You know, those kind of things. And I could keep going, but I don't want to take up the whole show.
There is something that you can do, and I do believe there is an app that you can use to call in when there's when the lights are out, stuff like that. I tell you what, but I will get that information.
They don't answer them apps.
But if my commissioner was coming into my neighborhood, then they would know. And that's what I'm saying. The citizens have to demand from them. You're going to have to change the way you've been doing stuff. We don't want you making phone calls and asking me, how's it going over there? I have somebody from your office. You, the elected commissioner, needs to be more involved physically in their neighborhood.
And you don't have to live in that area to be elected the official.
You're supposed to be. Now I'm gonna tell you one. I'm gonna tell you the hardest working official, seriously, in Macon-Bibb, is that Leon Jones. Leon Jones. You see Leon Jones. You see Leon Jones out there. Stop the killing.
Yeah.
I mean, he out there. You know, I saw his picture up there. He just grinning. He works so hard. And not just picking up bodies and things like that, but just physically walking the street. Yeah. And you see him. And that's what you're talking about is walking the street.
Yeah.
You know, physically showing your face. People know Leon. The little children probably know Leon.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You know, I like I said, I don't know my commissioner, but I will.
And when I reach out to my commissioner, Paul, and say, hey, man, I got, I'm a part of this group. This nonprofit group, and we got 1,000 coats. We got 1,000 hoods. We got 1,000 gloves. We got or more. We got so many masks I can't even count during a pandemic. And I'm calling you, and I can't even get you to answer. So now when I go and talk to the mayor, or when I go talk to Virgil Watkins, or when I go talk to Al Tim, or when I go talk to Seth, and then when one of those guys, or all of them collectively help me, then don't show up for a photo op, because I'm going to ask you out.
Well, and I tell you, you know, my commissioner at one point was Valerie Wynn. And before I moved, and it's a creek on the side of the house.
But I'm for him. See, that's what bothers me. I'm for him.
You know, my point to you is not that you're against him. It's just that we need to blow it. You know what I'm just saying? Put it out there. I called Valerie Wynn, and I don't agree on her politics.
Right.
Me and Valerie will fight like cats and dogs. You know, but when I called her and I said the creek beside the house had flooded, you know, and it was coming up to my steps. And I called her and I said, I need some help. Valerie got in that BMW. I think it was. It drove down there, saw that creek rising, talked to the residents and told them that she was going to try to help us do that, and told me to write her a letter. I did exactly what she said. Somebody came and walked that creek. Come to find out it was a tree down in the creek. So whenever we had a heavy rain, it will flood. It will flood. It will push it up. They got that tree down and it stopped. That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
You ought to be able to call somebody.
Your elected official that they say every vote counts. When they're out politicking, they tell me how important my vote is. You're important. Right. And da. But then I can't get you. Come on now.
And that's the point. You know, if you pick up the phone and you call somebody, I've called the tax commissioner. What is his name? McCord? Wade McCord?
Mm-hmm.
I've called him.
I tend to like him a lot.
I tell you what, I called him and I was trying to deal with some property so that I could give some property away from my mama, from over on Forest Avenue. And he broke his neck and helped me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's those kinds of things, Emily. We ought to be able to reach out to these people who are in the office and have them to respond to us. David Davis is another one I've been able to reach out to.
Yeah.
I called David Davis and he always responds. So it's just that accountability is huge. I remember when Lester Miller at his inauguration.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, there'd never be another homeless person die on his watch. I remember that. Because right when he took office, somebody had died from the cold.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I remember him saying that. And then the next day they had Brookdale Warming Center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did. He did do exactly what he said he was going to do. That I will give that to him.
The same group I speak of, we took, I don't know how many pair of Under Armour shoes over there. We took coats, we took gloves, we took masks to the Brookdale Center over there. Got cooperation from the mayor's office to do that. You know what I mean? The same group, the Power of Life Foundation. But I can't get my own commissioner
to do it. Yeah,
that I voted for to even answer the phone. I had to send a picture to this guy to remind him, not only am I somebody who voted for you, here's a picture of me, you, your dad, all your uncles standing on your grandmother's porch and you standing behind me. Because I'm the reason why you behind me, because I grew up with your dad and your uncles, them like we were brothers. And they got me standing on the porch with them because I'm a friend of long time. I grew up with these folks. Look, dude, I'm on your side. But I don't care if it's my brother, my cousin, my uncle, whoever it is. If you take on being a public servant, the community, we need to demand from them to be public servants. Not to be in office so they can put it on their resume so they can start trying to run for mayor coming up. I don't need you to be doing that right now. I need you to be involved in my community, the one that you're supposed to be representing. And that's what I'm saying. And I mean that for every one of them.
Is that a paid position, a commissioner?
Yeah, they get money. But I mean that for everybody elected.
And they get health insurance. I'm not sure what the compensation is, but we can probably ask. I don't think
they get money.
They get. I didn't know. That's why I was asking.
I keep thinking it's $17,000 a year that they make.
I
think it's $17,000 a year. They get like health insurance, and they get a phone and maybe like a laptop or whatever. And then we have term limits now. So like I want to say that Elaine Lucas.
Yeah, hers is coming up on.
This is her last term. Al Tillman's last term. Who else? Is it Virgil's last term? Virgil Watkins' last term too?
No, no.
I'm not real sure.
Because I was one of my friends was like, you should run, you should run, you should run. And then I pitched the idea to a couple of people and they were like, you're not going to win against her. You're not going to win against her. You're not going to win against her.
She's not.
Well, I know this is now. She's not running now, but this was some years ago.
Run though. If you want to run, Emily, you should. You have, you live there. It's your home. You have strong ideas. And I know that you're a leader. I know that she is. And you too, you should run. They ain't gonna let me run though. Henry ain't gonna let me run for office.
Well, you got a mouth on you, so I don't know if we need to put you in front of the camera.
Well, I do good though.
No.
I don't have a problem. I just have a problem with people not understanding what servant leadership is. If you can't serve, you can't serve, you can't lead. It's a difference. You've got to love people. You got to love what you do. You got to have that kind of, it's that thing on the inside. Everybody don't have that thing on the inside. And they look at it as being a stepping stone. It is not, well, baby, to some, it's a resume booster or whatever like that. But they'll find at the end of the day, it's not going to be enough. Because people can see through that.
Yeah.
And that's, That's what my head is. We started, last week we talked about some of the things with sexual abuse. That's why I was against that particular person. So getting in a position of authority, because I'm like, put that person in a position of authority, he'll run wild. And that's not what we need.
Yeah.
And, and so I thought, well, this week is a great week to talk about accountability. Folk need to be accountable. I don't like everything. People they say some very bad things about me. I can't say that, those names on the air. They told me the FCC people.
Not anymore.
I can't say them names. I can't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they said them things about me. But I don't agree. I don't agree with everything any politician say. I don't agree with everything Biden do. I didn't agree with everything Obama do. I don't agree with everything that Lester Miller does. I don't agree with everything that everybody does, but I agree with most things that they do. And that's all I got to do is agree with most things that they do.
My thing is, I'm going to keep being my thing, is if you're elected to be an elected servant. See, that's the part that I think everybody's getting confused about, is the positions that you are seeking are positions of servant. And I think, and we have to go back and redefine and make pride be we have taken the pride out of being servants.
And that's one reason why I love Leon Jones.
I
mean, when I think about a servant leader, Leon's straight servant leader.
Yeah, out there.
He out there pounding the pavements. I'm gonna say the same thing with Al.
Not always in a meeting room or talking about I got to meet with these people on the golf course to make something happen. We've seen what we've gotten from those kind of leaders. We need people in our community visibly where we can see you, touch you, talk to you. Don't tell me you ain't got time to talk to me.
I remember when Al.
And I don't mean me personally. I mean any person who was a voter that you, even if they didn't vote, if they're in the community that you got elected to represent, they are owed your time.
I remember, was it Fillmore Thomas Park? Remember that over there coming down Log Cabin? That's Al Tillman.
Yeah.
When he first got into office, he made that thing happen.
The sidewalks over there.
How long has he been in office?
He terms out this time. When he first came in, Al went to work. I'm just saying.
How long has he been in office?
I don't know. Those sidewalks on Log Cabin, where it was so dangerous for people to walk from Mercer University back to that neighborhood, to walk from Robbins Federal Credit Union back to Bellevue, that area. Put those sidewalks there. Countless of lives or injuries have been saved. Those are the kind of things that you can only know if you've been in the neighborhood. You can't tell me you're reading stuff and then you're trying to make decisions based on what you've read or some study you've had, unless you go down to Mulberry and sit up under those sheds or walk up under those sheds and look in those homeless people's eyes. You're not really going to understand homelessness.
No,
you're not going to understand it.
And we've got, and homelessness is a tough issue.
Man.
It's a tough issue. And a lot of times the people who are homeless have mentally ill. They're mentally ill or they have substance abuse problems. But when we went through this cold this past weekend, we didn't lose not one.
Right.
And it was cold.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cold. It was colder this weekend than it was other times.
And every kid that I saw walking in my neighborhood without a jacket on, I was sitting there thinking, we just gave away all these jackets in Birmingham instead of Macon, Georgia. And I mean, these jackets for adults too. These were $200 jackets, stuff like that. These were some good stuff. I'm not angry with him, but I'm angry with that position not being of service. And that's what we as the electors have to start being.
But let
what
me
do you call
say,
it? Accountability.
So what
we got to speak up.
But I was going to say, but sometimes, Johnny, we don't know how to talk. We don't know how to speak up. You know what I'm saying, Emily? We just don't know. So perhaps you can be that voice.
Well, I'm going to try to do my best.
And they can send you, they can inbox you.
And I've seen over the years too, where certain elected officials, people had different things that might have helped the community with who live in the community, and they wouldn't get the assistance they needed to get over the hump to do it. But then you look right back around a couple months later, that elected official is doing the same thing that the citizen was trying to do, but they'd rather them do it and get the credit for helping to do in the community instead of the community activists.
But that's why Emily said it like she did. Us old heads need to get out the way. We really do. And we need to encourage young people to run for office. And if they're not quite help them.
Right, yeah.
Instead of just, well, they don't know how to do nothing. Yuk.
Right,
They
gotta learn.
Help them. And a lot of us.
I agree with that, but I also.
But Johnny, I know you.
Yeah.
And here it go. We have to, as elders.
Right.
So you're an elder. You're over 60.
I am 61.
That's right. So we should be teaching them. We should be taking people under our wing.
Teach.
And show them, just like what you're talking about, show them how to. I tell you what, Georgia women and those who stand with us, we have letter writing campaigns all the time, Emily. Something we can't hardly get folks sometime to write a postcard. And we'll take and write the script out and say, this is how you write it.
And that is beautiful. And I'm saying, let's not continue buying new rims, painting the car, you know what I mean, instead of fixing the engine. See, that's what I'm saying about the old heads, the new heads, the whoever heads. I'm saying, I don't care about your age. I'm saying, let's be about fixing the engine, not about the shiny new stuff. Because I'm around a diverse age group of people. I'm around some elderly people, some older people, some young people, and some younger people. I'm around all of them. And I'm saying, either one of those age groups can get consumed with paint, putting new paint on the car. And I'm saying, I'm pushing for the folks who want to fix the engine. I'm pushing, well, I don't care how old they are. I'm pushing for the folks who knows that unless we put some recreation in this neighborhood, these kids are still not going to have anything to do. And then they're going to find something that's not good to do.
It's a lot of.
So it don't matter what your age is. I just need you to have that agenda. So I ain't stuck on what age you are. I'm stuck on your agenda. Is your agenda about the engine? I'm mad.
He's passionate.
I am.
He's passionate. He's not mad. Are you passionate?
I am, because I'm tired of riding through that neighborhood. And it's still, like you were saying, it looks like nothing's being done, right? And I'm saying it's the same. And then how could that neighborhood be that way when it is connected to downtown Macon?
Right, yeah.
But the other
and
part
leads to Eisenhower.
But I got that.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to ask you, Johnny, and I've asked you this before. Who is going to pay for it? And does the taxpayers pay for it? Or is it the homeowners that pay for it? It's just a lot that goes and
that's true. That's
so
true.
I'm saying to you that we need to have the conversation on who's going to fix it.
Now, where does the money come from?
Where does the money come from?
So we, in my book, that's why we elected whomever you elect to be concerned with the answer to that question.
Okay.
Right.
So if you can't walk up to me and give me the answer to that question, but how can you give me the answer to that question when you don't even know what the problem is? You're not even coming to see what the problem is.
And one of the things that I am going to do in my neighborhood, and I'm telling you, you could take it to the bank. I don't know him, but I'm going to invite him to my house. And I'm going to invite the neighbors up there too. So all of us can see it.
Yeah.
Because, since you follow what I'm saying, since you can't come to me like that, I just have a party, invite you. And I'm going to do it because you need to know how we feel in our community. obviously, there's a disconnect, and I'm sure he's gonna come. I'll come back and tell you about it, because different neighborhoods have different kind of problems.
And I will say this: who was running? I can't remember his name. That was running against Lester Miller. The black
Clifford
guy. Whitby. Okay, so I got into it with a close friend of mine. We're going back and forth, and he was just gun ho on Clifford Whitby, and you got to vote for him because I said, well, here's my thing. Clifford Whitby's office is literally I would say 1,000 feet away from my house. His headquarters. I said, now he's running for mayor, but he hasn't dotted my door. I have never met him personally face to face. I haven't seen him out in the community over here. All I know is he has a headquarters that's literally 1,000 feet away from my house, which means it's right down, like literally right there at my house. And I said, how can I vote for somebody I don't know? I've never seen him. He's never come up and down my street. He hasn't knocked on my door and asked me what I think or how I feel. All of a sudden I started getting all this slanderous stuff in my mailbox, don't vote for this person, don't, the slander. And I said, and that's all I know about him is that his campaign people stuck a whole bunch of stuff in my mailbox about, this about Lester Miller. And I said, but that doesn't let me know who he is, what he stands for, and what he plans to do. And I said, now tell me what you're for him. Tell me what his platform is. What does he stand to do? What does he want to work on? So he sends me to his website. I go to the website. I said, yeah, I just see a bunch of pictures of him. I still don't know what his mission is, what he wants to work on or anything. I said, I've met Lester Miller multiple times. I've sat down and talked to him about what he wanted to do, about the Warman Center, about multiple things. I said, so it doesn't matter if you're black, white, young, old, when you have representation for somebody that says, I want to take care of your city. This is what I plan on doing. And then I have somebody else that says the same thing, but I ain't never met you. I ain't never talked to you. You ain't dotted my door. And your headquarters is less than 1,000 feet from my front door. That kind of stuff resonates with me. It's like, I don't even know who you are. But we done ran out of time.
Done ran out of time, but you know what? We're going to be on here next week. And we may be just doing something fun next week.
Yeah, we need to. And maybe we can talk about how the light illuminates Emily's complexion.
Hey, Emily. Delight.
Raymond, I'm telling you, man, I had to get them back because as soon as I walked in today, they were on me, man. I'm telling you.
I said, I'm going to meet the juice lady so I can get me some juice shots.
The juice lady?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I just be throwing stuff out of there.
You guys, we love y'all.
And everybody remember this. The Atlanta Falcons did not lose a game last weekend.
Love you guys. Bye. We'll see you next Monday.
Peace out. Oh, we're still on the air because we just got a little bit, right?
Yeah, we're still here.
We're still here because we got a moment left. So we haven't left it.
You've been listening to All of a Sudden. Join them every Monday evening from 5:30 to 6:30. All of a Sudden with your host, Brenda Sutton. That's every Monday. We'll see you there.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.